Man, oh man, guys, the stock market was volatile today. We had the S&P down 0.3%, the Russell went down 0.5%, we had the Nasdaq 100 down over 1.1%, and the Dow ended up breaking even. So today, as always, we're going to break down the market, some stocks, some charts, my thoughts on the markets, plus more. So sit back, relax, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my Patreon down below if you guys want all my moves in the markets, and you could also get 50 free bucks from M1 Finance, which, by the way, that is limited time. Make sure to get your 50 free bucks linked right down below. And with that being said, let's get into it. So first order of business, today President Biden announced that he will nominate Jerome Powell, you heard that right, Jerome Powell, to a second term as president of the Federal Reserve. And the Fed chair, which you guys should know at this point, is one of the most powerful players in Washington and the overall economy. They pretty much pull the levers of buying bonds, quantitative easing, tightening, interest rates. They have all the power here for the most part. This is typically nominated every 4 years. Well, it is nominated every 4 years. And now we have Powell again, and this was actually, his term was actually slated to end in February, which is just about 2-3 months from now. So that is probably the biggest piece of news in the markets today, and that caused a lot of volatility. I mean, look at the charts here, guys. SPY hit an all-time high at $473 in the beginning of the day. Then we saw a big dump followed by a bit of consolidation and a little bit of a push in the middle of the day. And then once power hour hit, we saw another massive dump. So we ran up to 473, we dropped to 469, ran back to 472, then we went to 466. So it was literally a roller coaster ride today all across the board. And you guys can see on this 20-day chart, if I zoom in a bit, we actually still closed at a higher low. So it looks like the uptrend is maintaining itself, it's holding, and we're back in this wedge for SPY. Same thing pretty much with QQQ. Actually, it's a little bit different, but in terms of hitting all-time highs, it's the same thing as SPY. We hit an all-time high of $408.71 this morning. Then we got a big dump, followed by consolidation, followed by another big dump heading into the last hour of the day, which you guys know at this point, that is known as power hour. And even though we did sell off about $10 intraday from the all-time high at 408 to 398, which, guys, mind you, that's a 2.4% drop intraday. Even though we did drop 2.5% pretty much, the uptrend still looks like it's intact when it comes to this 20-day 1-hour chart. In fact, we closed above the 180 SMA and we held a higher low, which looks pretty good. And by the looks of it, this is simply a little pullback, and time will tell whether or not we dump even further, we bounce back. But as of now, the charts still look pretty good in terms of the bulls, right? Bears, hey, the Bears made some money today, but I'm not too sure if that's going to last. Time will tell. So what do you guys think? Drop me a comment down below. Make sure to hit the like button, as always, if you guys do find value in these videos. It really helps me out. And what we're noticing across the board is obviously volatility. The VIX today went up about 7%. So big day for the VIX, which is the volatility / fear index. What we're noticing, other than volatility, is a lot of the tech stocks are getting dismantled. Not necessarily Google, Amazon, not really, Apple. Actually, Apple hit a high today, I'm pretty sure. These have been doing pretty well. Microsoft, but we're talking about some of the smaller tech stocks. Look at a SoFi. Look at, even though Square is not necessarily smaller, but Square, Square has been getting destroyed. Coinbase has been getting destroyed. Don't even get me started on Snapchat, DraftKings, Chewy's another one that I was looking at. Chewy's getting dismantled, guys. Beyond Meat hit $75 today. A lot of these smaller growth-oriented companies, they've just been getting destroyed. And I believe, and we kind of talked about this over the weekend on my Saturday video, this kind of has to do with the markets are at all-time highs, so it seems like we're getting a bit of a rotation out of these types of stocks as of now. And B, the markets are kind of expecting, which we covered in my Sunday video or Saturday video, go check it out. The markets are expecting rate hikes pretty soon here, maybe two in 2022. Some people say, FOMC members say they don't see them coming till 2023, but I beg to differ. That's a big debate, but I think we will see a rate hike, or at least the Fed, try and raise the rates a little bit. We all remember what happened in 2018 when they did that, but who knows? Maybe if they raise the rates 2 times in 2022, these growth stocks are probably going to get hit, and that's kind of what's being priced right now into these growth stocks. So maybe if the rate hikes do happen in 2022, they won't get hit as hard because they're already kind of pricing it in. But that's what we're seeing across the board right now, and I will make a video tomorrow going over some of these oversold stocks. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that video. But for today, let's talk about some stocks that some are growth stocks, some are more value oriented. Let's see some charts here. What the heck's going on? Number one is Visa, guys. And let me tell you, Visa has been destroyed. Look at this 4-hour chart. Just a couple months ago, Visa was $250 per share, and now we just hit a low on this 4-hour chart of $194 per share. So that means one of the biggest companies in the world, Visa, is officially in a bear market. It is down 21% from the recent all-time high that was back in the end of July. And this chart on the 4-hour, I'll be the first to tell you, it does not look good. This chart does not look pretty. We just hit a lower low. It's a falling knife. We're downtrending. We're seeing a death cross. Literally, it's a bear's dream here. What we're seeing when it comes to this chart. And if you look on this 3-year chart, if you peel back the layers a bit, which is why I always tell you guys, look at multiple time frames. Don't get fixated on the 20-day chart, the intraday chart. Look at all the time frames because all of them tell a different story. And what the 3-year chart is telling me is this is simply a much needed bear market correction, whatever the heck you want to call it. I guess technically speaking, it is a bear market considering it's down over 20% from the all-time highs. This is much needed considering, look at this, all of the pretty much the latter half of 2020 all the way throughout the middle of 2021. So a year and a half, Visa went on a tear. I mean, from the March lows, Visa went from $130, and we're talking March lows of 2020, all the way to $250. So it pretty much doubled up, right, in a year and a half. And that's extreme considering Visa, it's not like a small cap like a Tattoo Chef where a double up would be like, okay, that makes sense, or like a Voyager, if it doubled up, you wouldn't even bat an eye. This is Visa, guys. The stock doubled up in a year and a half, and we're talking billions of dollars of market cap here. So it has to give. It has to give at some point. We have to see some sort of sell-off. And the Amazon catalyst, Amazon stopping to accept Visa-issued cards in the United Kingdom, that's probably adding fuel to the sell-off here. But all I'm saying is I don't think this sell-off is going to be, I don't think it's going to be a long-lasting sell-off. We could literally be nearing the end of the sell-off on Visa. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. But I think, judging on this 3-year chart, the 180 SMA, it's been support, and I think it could act as support again, right around 180, 185, 190, which is really right where we are right now. So keep your eyes on the larger time frames when it comes to Visa. And I don't give financial advice on this channel, and you guys must always do your own research. But listen, when there's blood in the streets, which there's not necessarily blood in the streets because the markets are still at all-time highs, but if you're looking at individual stocks that are down 10, 20, 30%, 40% from their all-time highs, that is a time to not panic, but a time to buy. And I'm not telling you to buy Visa or any stock for that matter, but I'm just saying when it comes to general investing, you want to buy when stocks are getting hit, not when they're running to all-time highs. That would be when you want to rebalance, take profits, move on, or just hold on to your winners. I don't just sell my winners because they're at all-time highs, but sometimes I rebalance a little bit, right? And I move money around to stocks that are a bit oversold, which we'll talk more about oversold stocks tomorrow. So make sure you guys, again, subscribe to the channel. Stock number 2 for today is CRM, also known as Salesforce. And Salesforce was one of those stocks that was getting hit in August of 2020, and it sold off a good amount from about 280 to about 200 from August 2020 to March of this year, which was a sell-off of about 25%. So this is an example, right? Just kind of piggybacking off what I just said with Visa. This went down 20 to 25%, which Visa now is down 20-25%. And you guys can see CRM, it bounced right back. 20-25% down, it hit 200. Now we're trading just under $300 per share, and we just hit an all-time high of 311 recently. So that's a perfect example that if you're patient, you have cash, you buy stocks, and this is not going to happen to all the stocks out there, but generally speaking, good solid companies like CRM, if they're down a little bit, 20-30%, you want to take the risk, you put money in. Sometimes with good quality companies, you'll get rewarded on that rebound, right? And that's kind of what we're seeing happening with CRM. It happened, and Visa, I think it will happen over the next couple of months, year. I think it will bounce back. So look at this 4-hour chart on CRM, right? We hit the all-time high about a week or two ago. Now we're selling off towards 295, which is right by the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which, mind you, look at this chart, guys. This level has held like a brick, right? I mean, we haven't fallen under it at all. It has been riding this moving average for months. So I think if buyers step in around 290, 295, we could have another shot at $300 per share when it comes to CRM. And EA is another one I'm looking at. EA is getting very oversold on this 4-hour chart. It hit 145 recently, which we covered on this YouTube channel many times. Each time it seems like EA gets to 145, 150, it gets rejected, and it gets destroyed. And I've been waiting for months, probably over a year at this point, for EA to finally break out of 145, 150, but we're just not getting it. And you guys can see again, it has tanked after hitting 145, 150. Now we're trading at 127. And if you pull up the 3-year chart on EA, this kind of looks like an ascending triangle, right? We've been holding an uptrend since 2018, but again, like I said, we've been getting hit at 150. So at this point, we're at a decent dip buy. We're pretty oversold on the 3-year chart, and we're getting close to that 180 SMA at about $120 per share. And this has typically been a buy zone on EA, at least judging over the past roughly year, maybe a little bit over a year. You know, each time we've gotten to the low 120s, 1-teens, like 115, 118, 117, you know, it's been a buy. So I want to see if EA holds this point. Maybe we start running back up towards 140. That is where we could make some money on a swing trade, in my opinion. And Matterport, MTTR, this is a smaller company. I forget what the market cap is. I could probably pop it up here on my iPad. Give me a second, guys. It's got to be like I don't want to say it because I forget, but maybe like a 10 billion market cap. Maybe I'm completely off here. It's a 6 billion market cap. Okay, so this is a smaller company, right? And at this point in time, it's trading down about $5 from the all-time highs that were just hit recently at $30. So this one's pretty much close to a bear market. It's down 15%. It's in correction territory, and we're trading right around this 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which, guys, take a look. This has been support for the past couple of weeks, but I'm not jumping in quite yet. And let me explain why. As of now, the stock kind of looks like a falling knife. So what I'm kind of hoping for, and this might not pan out, who the heck knows, but what I'm kind of hoping for at this point is we fail at this 50 SMA, we crack under 25, and then we see a broader sell-off down to about the 180 SMA, whether it's $22, $23. And mind you, the 180 SMA, the gold moving average here has also been support. I think that would be an even better buy. So maybe I scale in a little bit. When I swing trade, I like putting in like 15% at first in my goal position. I would consider doing that if we hit 24, 25, but I would really want to build a bigger position closer to the low 20s. And if I miss it, if it rips to 30 from here, whatever. We can't win them all. But I'm just being transparent. Those are the price targets that I have right now when it comes to Matterport. Hold on. Somebody's texting me right now. Let me just silence this phone. Give me a second, guys. There we go. So Matterport, yeah, watch out for it. Etsy is another one which is completely going ballistic. It has been. It's doubled up over the past 6 months. From the middle of May, it was 150. Now it just hit $300, and I believe that's an all-time high. Let me double check. It's got to be, right? Of course it is. What stocks aren't at all-time highs, guys? We make that joke all the time. Yeah, it just hit 300, so it's doubled up from May, and the chart still looks pretty good, even though it's pretty. I don't want to say it's completely overbought because today it went down 5%. Bringing the RSI down to about a 46, which is not overbought territory. But with stocks that have ran up a lot, you got to be careful. But as of now, it's holding the moving average, both moving averages at that. And it closed above the 50 SMA, which has been support. We bounced off of that in the beginning of November, also just about 12 days ago on the 10th of November. So let's see if we bounce off again. Maybe we get a little move back towards 300, but kind of like with Matterport, guys, I would actually like Etsy down towards 240, which is right by the 180 SMA. So that means, yes, $30, $40 more per share of a drop would be better for me, but who knows? Maybe we still get a quick move from 280 to 300. That is definitely in the cards. So let's talk about Nordstrom, JWN. I've talked about this one a lot recently, but it's important because they report earnings tomorrow after market hours on the 23rd of November. And this stock has been moving, right? It's been moving up from $25 to about $35, but now it's been dipping a bit. It's been giving back some of those gains, but net over the past 1-2 months, it's still up a crap ton, guys, right? And as of now, we went down 1.3% on the day. We closed under the 50 SMA, and we actually took the lows out from last week, which isn't the best sign for the bulls. I'll be completely honest with you guys. But if we get even more oversold to the point where we're touching that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart at about $30, 29, I think that's going to be an interesting spot with earnings coming out. And with how crazy these retail-oriented stocks have been moving. So like you guys should know at this point, I'm not a big gambler on earnings. I don't like buying short-term call options right before a report. I don't load up on shares right before a report. So I'm going to wait and see what they end up reporting, EPS, guidance, revenue, especially guidance. And I want to see same-store sales numbers. And we're going to see, if we get that dip to 29, 30, who knows? I might get back into JWM because if you guys didn't know, all you guys in my Patreon do know because you get all my moves there. This is one that I was in for quite some time. I bought it. I forget where I bought it, like $28 or something like that. I was selling covered calls on it for week after week after week. Made a lot of money on it. And then I sold out recently at like $34. And I've been waiting for a re-entry. So this might be the opportunity. Who knows? If they tank down to 30, 28, 29, I might buy my shares back and rinse and repeat the covered call process. Maybe I'll even wheel the stock. Who the heck knows? Depending on the numbers. We're going to be watching it. So keep your eyes on JWM. Kroger is the last one, which today, ticker symbol KR, this went up about 5%. Pretty solid day for Kroger. And I really like how buyer stepped in above the 180 SMA. Because let me tell you, if this thing fell under the 180 SMA, it started to go down to test the lows from the end of October at about 38, that would not have been good whatsoever. But the fact that we had buyer step in at $40, we ran up 5% today. Now we're actually testing the highs from last week. We actually closed above the highs from last week. This is a very good sign for the bulls that the overall uptrend on the 4-hour chart's continuing, and we want to start gunning for the highs from the end of, actually that was early November at about $43, $44, where I think if we break out of that point heading into earnings on the 2nd of December here. So I'm going to put my alert at 44. If we get out of there, guys, this might break out towards 50. It's kind of setting up for that. It really is. Momentum's kicking up. Volume's starting to go back up. So, KR, watch it. Set your alerts. 43, 44. If we break the wedge, the highs out, if we take the highs out from the beginning of November, this might be off to the races, guys. So, that's pretty much it. Pretty crazy day today. We had Powell get appointed, which is solid. We'll see how that ends up playing out over the next couple of years. Visa, CRM, EA, Matterport, I said that so weird. Matterport, right? Etsy, JWN, KR. Watch all of those stocks. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, join my Patreon if you guys want all that good stuff. It's linked down below. Make sure to also get $50 from M1 Finance, 2 stocks from Webull, up to $1,600. Link down below as well. And I almost forgot. Check out my video from earlier. We went over 3 stocks that I didn't cover in this video. Go check it out. I'll pop it here. See you there. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.